When it comes to forecasting for a group of items, it is necessary to use a statistical model such as Monte Carlo simulations. In this video, we'll do a deep dive into Monte Carlo when. Monte Carlo when will help you answer the question, when will I be done with a specific number of items or a range of items? To begin with, you need to enter how many issues you wish to forecast, or enter a range. For example, you can enter how many items are left in your backlog, your sprint, or how many items you think you will have. Not all issues might yet have been refined, so you can enter a range to take the unknown into account. Now that you have set your simulation controls, don't worry about the scale throughput by, we'll get to that in a minute, you have to confirm what data should be used for the simulations. To do so, you need to scroll down to the throughput run chart at the bottom of the page. On this chart, you can select what data on the timeline is relevant for the simulations. It's important to only select the data that is roughly similar to the work you will do in the next few weeks and months. You can adjust the selection with the cursors or by entering the precise dates. For example, work done during summer vacation might not be very representative and can be excluded. By clicking on Item Filter in the chart controls, you can select what should be included amongst the different attributes from your dataset. This is where you can decide to only forecast epics or other issue types. We generally recommend not to mix parents, children, and to focus on issues from the same categories such as defect, tasks, and stories. Now that you have set your simulation controls, selected the data to use on the timeline, and made sure to only include the relevant data, you can look at the forecast. As you can see in the histogram, we are not giving you one answer, but a range or possible outcomes. This is what is called a probabilistic forecast. You see the different options and their probabilities. It is up to you to decide how much risk are you willing to take with the forecast. In 50% of the trials, we could complete these 85 items by February 18th, 70% chance by February 25th, 85% chance by March 3rd, and 95% chance by March 18th. The higher the confidence level, the more pessimistic the forecast will seem, and vice versa. The more risk you are willing to take, the more optimistic the forecast will be. As we are looking at dates, it's easier to see the forecast on the calendar compared to the histogram. You can turn off the histogram by toggling it off at the top. The colours are there to show you the different probabilities. You can hover over any date to see the precise confidence level. This can be very powerful when discussing dates with a stakeholder, if they want those 85 items done by February 1st. You can hover over that date and see that based on the work you have done so far, you have 7 to 8.4% chance of completing these items by that date. You can suggest pushing the deadline by 1 month and show the new confidence level. If the date cannot be changed, that's when you can use the Scale Throughput By feature to help you play with what-if scenarios. Let's say you could increase your team size by 20%. You can then enter 1.2, which will increase all your throughput by 20% and update the forecast. Would adding more capacity solve the problem? Or do you need to reduce the scope and focus only on the most important tasks? You can always change how many items are forecasted and get an updated forecast. The power of Monte Carlo simulations is that you can always get an updated forecast in seconds. For every day that work has been completed, you can easily check the impact on your forecast. The earlier you are aware of changes, the easier it is to have corrected active actions if necessary.